I want to talk about a little bit of kind of what the industry is doing. Basically, it's when you speak like out of your mind, you know, and just say things literally word for word. It tells the viewer what's happening instead of showing them. In the industry of screenwriting, it's a no-no. You don't write that way. That's just unprofessional. It sounds like crap. And then people end up not watching the series because of that, right? The Diablo 3 DLC trailer that came out, it looks great, okay? And no doubt the voice actors do a good job for what they do. It's just, fortunately, they're given horrible lines, you know, I think. All right, so she's reading, I don't know what language that is, if it's make-believe or it's actually real. Nyril. Oh, you're not well. Please, Arat. Please, my child, let me help. Stay away from me. Nyril. Is that how I raised you? You see what I mean? No, mother, but I must carry this burden alone. I must get to Azrat's tomb. But look at you. You're killing yourself. I don't know how much longer I can. ... Shush, shush, shush. I'm here, little magpie. Magpie? Hold on. Well, I'll do a proper video review of this shenanigans, but you know, she's speaking another language, right, with her spellcasting or whatever, right? Or maybe it's in her culture to be speaking the foreign language, you know, the country she's from. Why would they say in English, if that's what they're saying, which according to the subtitles, they're speaking English? Why would they call her magpie? Like for nicknames as a writer, you should keep the original spelling of that language. You know, have the actor say the nickname in that language. Don't translate it to English and say, oh, it translates to magpie. No, don't do that. It's just so cringe. I miss you so much, and I'm so proud of you. And guess what? Take a look at this. Let's go back. Look at the pearly whites. Look at the okay, she, right? Not too bad. Not too bad. The artist actually looked at the details here and they said the pearly whites, they're too white. Let's put a little bit of red, right? She's going through some stress. Maybe didn't sleep well. Let's put a little bit of red, okay? But they didn't apply it to all characters in the scenes like that. You're getting direct sun exposure to your eye. I don't know about you guys. I can't look at the sun. I can't have the sunlight in my eye like this. There's not enough red. Clearly, this is a demon. Spoiler alert. That's a demon that she's talking to. But every single CGI movie in all games in 2024 don't really get the eyes done correctly. Are you all right? Leave her be. She suffered enough already. I will tell you what you wish to know. That, okay, is exactly what I'm talking about. I will tell you what you need to know. The villain is over there, and he is the boss that you need to fight. Mephisto, Diablo, or wherever any other creature and end boss game that you need to fight, right? It's giving the viewer, or in this case, the gamer, the context of what the hell's going on. Blunt force into your face. That's no. You don't do that in writing. Now, let's look at it for what it is, the medium of video games. Yes, you need to get the point across to the player so they can get them out of there. It's a fetch quest. Oh, boring. But whatever. They're doing a fetch quest, right? You got to level up somehow. Make it engaging, right? What game recently is doing that? And people are a big fan of, and it won a lot of awards, right? Baldur's Gate 3, all right? And it's not just Baldur's Gate 3. That company that made that game, I played the game before that. That's why I didn't get Baldur's Gate 3, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of the lore. I have Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, and then I'm replaying part 1 to complete it because I beat part 2 years ago when I was a little kid. But I digress. They made a game before that, and I think it was called Divinity 2, and that was a prototype for Baldur's Gate 3. So everything that you experience, the technology, the dialogue, the writing, the cinematics changing, I have already experienced that in Divinity Lost Sin 2. So I didn't want to bother to go to, Baldur's Gate 3 anytime soon. But the point I'm trying to say, though, is that crew knows how to kind of tell the story through in-game engine interactions. That kind of makes sense. This just feels not AAA when the dialogue is just, they call it on the nose, right? You're saying literally what you're thinking. It's games these days have been trying to be cinematic with their graphics, the visuals, right? But yet we still can't hire professional writers from the film industry world. Why is that? Because it's cost effective to not hire somebody who's in the union, right? In the Writers Guild, for example. They would have to pay a lot of money to the Writers Guild to hire, say for me, if I was in Writers Guild, they would have to hire, they have to pay the Writers Guild a big cut, my agent a big cut, and then finally me a big cut. Versus, let's get the same guy who designed this level and this quest to write the dialogue. That's why this stuff comes out really cringy. It started last night with the trolling of the bells. You know what that's reminiscent? What dialogue that is? You see it in a lot of movies. Well, you're probably wondering how I got here. Angry Bananas does not like that. Angry Bananas, one of the show sponsors, he always used to tell me he hates seeing that in movies. And I say, I hate it too. It's not subtext. Hold on, let me think for a moment what it's called. It's called exposition. You can Google it. Just basically telling you things that you feel like you need to know, but it's in your face. Then it's not believable. It doesn't throw you into the world. It sucks horribly. And it's in all these games, including Diablo. So it's a big letdown. I think cost effective, sure, but it's not great. Starfield, perfect example. And people have been talking about it on Twitter. They're like, dude, this guy just can't write. Leave the writing to writers you design. You're a game designer, right? Here we go. Behold the Reverend Mother Prava and the burned knight Urivar, sole survivors of the battle at Hell's Gate. I was reading this to myself. I was like, dude, I just can't. So we saw her in a cinematic before. Today we gather to witness the dawn of a new age, one made possible by the courage and sacrifice of our father Inarius. It's not too bad, right? It's just too much. Uvar and I returned from the depths of hell, bearing his message along with the scars of our trials to show that our devotion is not wavered. So let's stop right there. Realistically, everyone in that crowd knows that information. But you don't, because you didn't watch the CGI trailer. So this is them telling you what you probably missed out because you didn't watch it. Even if you did, they don't care. They still want to regurgitate the same things over and over and over again because it's exposition. And here comes the big champion, which I think is just horrible. It's forgettable, to be honest. I'm forgetting already this character. I don't have to play the game. Forget about it. I try to make him memorable because of the mask, but yeah, get out of here. As a big buff guy, come on. We've seen so many games with big buff guys. Get out of here. You want to be somebody memorable, to be honest, and I think they're getting inspiration from this movie called Kingdom of Heaven, I believe. I'm not too sure. Is it Kingdom of Heaven? I think it's Kingdom of Heaven, where it was like one of the Roman leaders before the Pope who had leprosy. He was in a similar mask, right? Because he had leprosy. He was covering his face, filled with boils and stuff. That guy was not buff at all. And he didn't wear pauldrons or any of this armor. No. Dude was weak. He's on death row, like dead, death was coming to get him because he was deadly ill. This just forgettable. Like, why? Why cover your face, buddy? Get out of here. Here. In hell, I was cleansed by battle and flame. See what I mean? This is using in-game engine to do the cinematics. Doubt and wickedness were burned away, but in the end, I was preserved. I get it. If you read it that way, it sucks, but may all who serve the light do the same. See what I mean? This man is a mercenary sworn to the service of the murderer Lorath. God. He tried to hide the Horadrim girl Neril from our judgment. It's a lot of exposition. A lot of exposition. A girl who threatens us all by carrying a fragment of the very same evil I battled in hell. That is so much exposition. Like, FYI, in case you didn't beat the first game, it's like doing that. Do you agree to repent your sins and walk with us in the light? I do. Bless you, Reverend Mother. Thank you. In the name of the Holy Father, I swear it. Reverend Mother. Big guy. Cometh. Take thy vengeance, right? With all due respect, Reverend Mother. Father Anarius's mercy was great, but did he not also preach justice? Where then was the mercy for Losef when Lorath slaughtered him? Overar. What does it say about Cathedral if we allow such sins to go unpunished? Neither Lorath or the girl have been found. We have gained nothing. So tell me, is he owed mercy? Is he owed mercy? Or is this justice? Come on, get out of here, dude. You know, see, as a Diablo player, I'm already uninterested in this guy. I don't care. But he's the villain of the DLC, pretty much, it seems like. That's just fight the bad guy. He's a crazy religious figure, cult leader, probably. I don't know. Forgettable. So, folks, come watch my streams on Sundays and I'll show you how not to do that. You know, it's like, don't get me wrong, right? I'm not in Hollywood. I'm not there yet, but I've been working with other writers in workshops long enough to know that when it comes to these things, you have to step it up. You have to get rid of the exposition in the dialogue so that things come off more naturally, right? Words come out more naturally and become relatable to the characters that are speaking them, right? So that they don't come off as just some monotoned robot. It doesn't matter who's speaking this line. Everyone sounds the same, you know? Or worse yet, like I say, when it sounds like it's the writer speaking to you, or in this case, it's the level designer who wrote the dialogue. Nobody wants to hear a level designer speak to you in these lines. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing some dude that's like, he loves to read fan fiction, and this is his shot. You know, hey, I got writing experience in video games. Sure, you sure did. You sure did.